So welcome back to the channel, another episode of Leveling Up Joel's Battle Station. Again, of course, we have Joel here in this episode. Welcome, Joel. How are you doing?
Hello, Michael. I'm doing amazing. I don't know how much further we can level up this thing. It's getting up there.
We got a lot of work to do. I mean, we can still do a lot of stuff, so. I see your background. Your background looks amazing.
Yeah, thank you. It is coming together. We'll do a separate section on that, I believe. But man, I'm fired up. I've always loved being in this room, but I love it now more than ever. There's just like so much coming together. It's great.
Can I just say that the first time we chatted, you definitely had a very different looking and sounding setup. I'm not trying to insult you, but the first time we chatted, it seemed like you were just using a phone, like an iPhone, and then just, chatting through Zoom or something. This looks legit professional, and you sound even better. So actually, for this episode,
Talk about a glow up, right? I think that's what the kids say.
exactly.
This is it. Look at me now. How it started versus how it's going.
We need to convert this into a meme. That's what we need to do. What we're going to be talking about today is how we've leveled up your audio equipment, your microphone, and some other bits and goodies that our friends from Rode send over. But before we do that, actually, I want to briefly talk about my relationship with Rode and why and how this came to be. So Rode, if you're not aware, they make microphones, basically audio equipment, headphones, microphones, audio mixers, and they've been in the business for a long time. And I remember when I first started doing YouTube, they were like the number one recommended products from creators. And as a matter of fact, when I first got started, I had like nothing, like no audio equipment, no headphones or anything like that. And they were very generous in supporting my channel. So they sent me a microphone, and that's basically how my relationship started with them. And they're very, very supportive of creators. And I can see why creators love their products. And so one of my friends over at Rode, I basically just reached out to them and said, hey, we're doing something really cool for Joel. We're leveling up his battle station, and I think your products are going to be like the perfect fit. And I had no idea what they were going to send. So Joel, what did they actually send you? Because you sound amazing right now.
Oh, thank you. I wish I could sing. I would sing a song for
Let's
you.
try it.
I think I'd be better off rapping, but I'm not going to do that either. No, I could do ASMR. ASMR. Yeah, let's talk about what they sent. Phenomenal, first of all. Every single thing that they sent me screams quality. It's like it all feels just very nice. We can start with this bit that you're seeing here. This is the arm that holds the microphone. I was telling you before we started, I've never been much of a microphone arm kind of guy. I'd rather have it like on a stand on the desk, but that has all changed now. I really like this one. It's super stable, super solid. Then the microphone, of course, XDM-100. I believe it was made for gaming streamers, I believe. We'll talk about that. And then last but not least, especially for me, these headphones. My favorite of the three things. As much as I enjoy talking into a microphone, I enjoy listening to music way more, and I listen to music all day long, and these things are super comfortable, super high quality, and it's fantastic. I've been playing some very immersive games lately. Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't know if you played that.
I've not played that one yet.
There's also Will of the Wisps. It sounds amazing. It's just an amazing sounding game. Orally, it's just really great. These headphones are perfect for that type of thing.
It's awesome. Let's start with the Rode PSA-1, I think. PSA-1 Plus, is that what it's called?
PSA-1 Plus.
So this is the PSA-1 Plus, and I have the same setup, the microphone boom arm, basically. And Joel and I were just talking about this earlier before we started recording. And other than it looking great, like because it's so clean, it has this fabric that's wrapped around the arm itself for a really nice, aesthetics. And also it has clips at the top so that you can route the cable along the arm, and it's just a lot cleaner. The fabric actually does more than just give you a nicer looking arm. It's actually a sound dampener. So the reason they have the fabric wrapped around the arm is that it prevents it from squeaking. And I've had a number of different boom arms for microphones, and this is my favorite because I can move it and it's not squeaking at all. And that's definitely something you want. I'm imagining, Joel, when you're streaming, right?
For sure. I mean, if it squeaks, I'll throw some WD-40 on there, but you don't want that around your equipment.
I've tried that too, yeah.
No WD-40 necessary. This arm. No, it's great. I've never heard it. And you mentioned that to me and I didn't notice it before, but it's just one of those things you don't even think about, but you don't even have to think about.
Yeah.
It's completely
Yeah,
quiet.
it's wonderful. And the reach is actually also really nice. So it attaches to your table or your desk and you can move it around. Like for me, the reach is long enough that I can virtually place it anywhere in my desk and it can still reach me at a comfortable level. So this is a great, great arm. And I was actually really happy that they sent that over because I think it's one of those things that normally people don't shop for. They just go with the like a mic stand that sits on their desk, which is also fine. But the problem is, at least in my experience, I've, more than once and for sure knocked over the mic or just like bumped into it. And then obviously the shuffling, you're going to hear it. And it's also very distracting. Having a boom armor like this keeps everything clean. If you don't want it in the shot, if you're done using the microphone, you can just move it away. And it's great. I love it. Tell me about the microphone that they sent you, because I actually have not heard of that microphone from them. I understand I think that's something new. What's it called again?
The XDM-100. Fairly certain that it is made for gamers, with gamers in
I
mind.
think you're right. Rode X is basically their new streaming or gaming division for Rode. And I think they sent you products from this specific line of Rode products, right? So this is a professional dynamic USB microphone. I see. So it's still USB, which means it's plug and play essentially. And very convenient for people who stream. So it's also friendly for people who want to get into streaming games. They don't have to buy all these crazy equipment. I like the fact that Rode makes it really, really simple. Only a few companies actually make professional USB microphones. I would definitely trust Rode with this, but this is new. I've not used this myself. But how do you like it, Joel?
I'd say in terms of this microphone, professional quality is, I can feel that, right? Like literally feel it in the weight and stuff, but just like in the setup and everything, it just seems like, oh man, this is made for professionals. That's a little bit of a gift and a curse. I think the way we have it set up now, it sounds good. I honestly struggled with it a little bit at first, getting it to sound crisp and clean. So I will give a little bit of information on that for people who are just getting started. You got to keep the mic close to your mouth, so just get used to that. And when you do, your viewers will thank you because it sounds so good.
It sounds very crispy.
So then I got into the software, the Rode Unify software, and played with the gains to get the volume level just right. There are a ton of advanced features in there in terms of mixing. It's essentially a mixing software. So you can play with all of that stuff. But if you go into your microphone settings, there are advanced settings around oral exciter and big bottom and noise gate and compressor. If you're just getting started, I'd recommend if you're cutting in and out, turn off that noise gate. You can turn on the compressor with default settings if you like. It's personal preference, but it kind of makes your voice sound a little bassier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I wish that there was a button that you could just click and say, like, almost like default settings, but for new folks getting started, I don't know, but it wasn't necessarily that way, so it took me some time to get used to it.
But overall, like the sound quality is there. Even the look, I would say, it's got this nice black and red theme going on, I guess, for their gaming division, which is very gamer centric, but not in a very loud way. Right. It's still subtle enough that it looks professional equipment. And I'm like, that's actually really, really nice. I've never seen this before. We talked about Unify. So that is basically their own app that you can download to use with their products. And I just clicked on Discover Unify. Takes me to their page. It's a virtual mixing software for streamers and content creators. I've not used this myself. I use a Rodecaster Pro, which is an actual hardware, an audio mixer, which I like the physical buttons and the toggles, because it's just easier for me to just set and forget. But this would make more sense for streamers and gamers who are trying to get into. If you want a very simple setup, something that's kind of plug and play, this would make sense. And what's your feedback on the Unify from your experience?
Yeah, 100%. I'm new to mixing type software, so it was a little intimidating at first. However, once you get in there, you can add different audio inputs to different channels and then adjust those. And then you can change the way that those sound on various output channels. So if you're using OBS, which a lot of streamers do, then when you go into the OBS software, you'll select the Unify input as your audio input, and it'll take whatever goes into that mixer, and that's what your stream viewers will see. So I like it. There's a lot to learn for sure. I feel like I'm not fully using its capabilities, but in terms of a virtual mixer, as you say,
Yeah.
really nice, really nice. It allows you to be able to control things right there in that one console.
It looks very professional. I mean, I want to try this out. I don't know how I'm going to use it because I have the hardware itself, but I think I want to explore this. And generally speaking,
Oh my gosh. I mean, let me tell you, Michael, like the thing that I really want to get into that I haven't yet is on the far right of Unify interface. There's sound effects.
uh-oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. I see it. It's like the sound pads, virtual sound pads, essentially.
Hold on.
I heard that. Yeah. Yes.
Did you hear it? I don't have my monitor on, so I couldn't hear it. Let me turn that on. Here we go.
Yep. There you go. That's perfect for gaming for sure.
No, this is the one that I'm going to need the most, I think, when I say something super stupid.
There you go. Oops.
See, I love that stuff. And that's what I mean about not using its full capabilities, because I'm certain you could add your own, and I need to add
Yeah.
my own.
Yeah.
So-
I know earlier before we started recording, we were kind of exploring the app, and there's a lot of sub settings from the main settings. The one thing I do know about Rode is that they're pretty good with pushing out tutorials and stuff. I don't know if it's on their website, but I remember I used to search on YouTube, and they, like actual Rode, like the company, would make these tutorials, and they're pretty good with dishing out information on how to use their products. I guess, if I were to give any feedback, their website is nice and clean, but it took me like a minute to find where the Rode X website was, because I assumed it was just on their regular website. Very apt, you see? So I think, yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, Michael. I think that, and then you said yourself, Rode X is a new gaming
Yeah.
line. I think they're just getting started. It'll keep getting better and better. I love what the foundation
Yeah,
is, though.
definitely.
But these sound effects, I'm already loving it. I teach esports broadcasting at Miami University, and I tell the students, I say, like, if you want to get a laugh, like sound effects are like a cheap laugh, but it works most of the time.
It's like the canned laughter from all the sitcoms that we love watching. It just makes you laugh. Like, I don't even know why I'm laughing. It's just funny. I mean, the sound, hearing people laugh, it just sounds funny. That's great. So we've covered the PSA 1 Plus, the XDM 100, the Unify, and I think we definitely need to talk about the headphones, because I know Joel has been talking about it a lot, and I know why. Because I actually have the same pair of headphones, and it's in my other office. That's where I have another setup for my podcast. If for whatever reason, I can't do it here, I have it over there, and I have the exact same headphones. But I want to hear Joel's feedback and what he thinks about the NTH 100.
Let's talk about the headphones. The first time I put them on, it's like pillows on my ears. Like, just the feel without even having the audio is fantastic. So then being able to plug in this like heavy duty, super long cord all the way directly into my PC, and then fire up the audio centric game of choice or Spotify or whatever. Oh my gosh, it's super high quality. I really love them.
It's one of those products that I think it came out sometime last year, that the moment I saw it on their website, I went on Best Buy and bought it like right away, like day one. And I'm like, I need to get this. And one of the things, like, I have to stress to people how high quality this product feels. Like, you have locks on the side of the headband. So you know how when you adjust the headband, you kind of, when you find that perfect fit, you don't want to move it around, you can actually lock it so it doesn't move around. So it's one of those things that I've never seen in any other headbands. And also you can move the cord, the connector, to the left or the right ear cup, depending on your preference or where your equipment is, basically. That's another handy feature, which, I also want to point out that this isn't specifically made just for streaming or gaming. Like what Joel said, you can listen to music using these headphones. And what blows my mind, Joel, personally, was when I got my own pair. I have a couple of headphones, like, just for context, and I have Bear Dynamics, and I like them just because it's, again, personal preference. I have a few others, and I have a good idea of the price range of these sort of headphones. Like, they can be anywhere from like $200 and up. The Rode NTH 100 is $150, and that's very affordable for the high quality hardware that you're getting. But see, now this turned into me raving about the NTH 100. It's supposed to be about you, Joel. I love these headphones.
Let me jump in here and rave about them.
Please do.
I mean, all the headphones especially, but all this equipment feels like something that if you were starting up a podcast studio or even a music studio, that you would find in those types of studio environments to me. I mean, I've been on podcasts that are run from studios, and it has this type of equipment, like this level of quality. So then being able to take that and then use it for, streaming Rocket League, it's pretty amazing.
It's amazing.
That's leveling up.
I love it. That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I really do like it. You mentioned being able to take this, put on the side. That's right. My PC is on the right, so this is on the right. That's really cool, and it's just like little things, man. Like you don't tug this to pull it out; it twists, unlocks, and then comes
Correct.
out. Right? It's very nice.
So it doesn't. There's no fear of accidentally pulling it or disconnecting it, like because you have to unlock it first and pull it out. Yeah.
Exactly.
You also mentioned the cord. The cord is
also-
long. I remember that. The cord is very long. It's a slim cord, but it doesn't feel flimsy. I have a lot of headphones, and some of them feel very flimsy. The Rode doesn't feel flimsy at all. And I think that's one of those things that is hard to translate on video, even on photos, like how high quality the products actually feel. So it's one of the things that I just really appreciate about their products.
I'm sure it makes it sound better, but I'm sure it like lasts longer and stuff. But it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
It's like, I have the confidence that this thing is really transmitting.
Yeah. Totally get that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's heavy duty. There's also a mic that connects to this if you want. You don't have to, but you could wear this as a headset. More of like a gaming headset. It's got the
They
mic
thought about
comes
that.
out. I've used it a couple
That's
of times.
actually new. I have not heard of that until recently. That's a new accessory that they added.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it goes into the same port as the wire. So it's the same universal port. So if you have this on the side, you could put the mic on the left side.
That's fantastic. I want one of those now. I think I'm going to grab one for myself.
It sounds good. It doesn't sound as good as this mic, but it does sound
That
pretty
is
good.
pretty cool. That's very cool. So how does it feel now, Joel? We're on episode 4, I believe, of leveling up your battle station. The first thing we did was your camera. The next thing we did was the peripherals and then the audio equipment. And I see that you're working on your background. And we've been emailing back and forth. And you've been a busy person. And it seems like you moved your space to a particular wall and you built that shelf right behind you. I know we're going to cover this in a separate episode, but tell me about that shelf right behind you.
We can't hide the shelves. These are custom built shelves. I don't know. Can you blur it after the fact? Like put like sensor.
I'll just put like a really
spoiler,
low
like-
graphic sticker. Don't look or something like a caution tape.
These shelves are custom. We'll talk about it. Well, that's all I'll say. I custom built them, and you can too after I share the plans.
For a cheap $199. No, I'm just kidding. So Joel, what's next for leveling up? What's the next thing that we're going to work on? I know there's a couple. We're a few steps ahead, but what do you think is going to be a good next episode?
All right, so you've seen throughout this video, I've progressively gotten lighter and darker. That is literally the clouds passing in front of the sun because it's 1 p.m. I think stabilizing the light, getting the light situation under control, I think would be ideal. Take full advantage of this crisp camera. So lighting.
That's a good topic. And possibly after that, even just like cleaning up that area, right? Like where your camera used to sit on a stack of dad laws. Right? Like maybe some other accessories. And then there is a big one that we want to reveal that's coming soon. But okay, well, before we end this episode, make sure to check out channel3.gg, the only social media site for gamers, essentially. We have the owner, the main engineer or programmer, and the designer, everything in the studio right now, which is Joel. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, check out Channel 3. July 1st was Channel 3's first birthday.
Happy anniversary.
Grew up so fast. Yeah. Happy release day. Happy release day instead of birthday. On Channel 3, we have like this feature that shows you which games were released on this day. It'll be like, oh, Rocket League was released on this day 10 years ago.
That makes
but then
me
it'll
feel
also
so
show you,
old.
I just made up a
Okay.
number. I don't think that's...
But I bet you're not that far off, though.
I know people's options for social media are growing by the
Yeah.
day. There's so many out there with Threads coming out, having millions and millions of users. I think the more I'm in this racket, the more I think about like, why am I on social? And people think like, what am I on social for? Is it to like potentially go viral or get big numbers or to get content out there in front of a bunch of people? That's one end of the spectrum. I think on the other end of the spectrum is genuine connection and community and wanting to find your people and connect with them on a genuine level. That's what Channel 3 is all about. And I think if we're going to be successful, it's all about allowing people to find their clubs, their communities, and discuss this huge passion they have around gaming. And that's what it's all about. I think you're going to see a lot of different social media networks around interests and passions like that. And I hope Channel 3 becomes the one for people who love video games.
I think it will be. I honestly think it will be. So yeah, definitely check out Channel 3. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please do, because you don't want to miss an episode, especially the one that's coming up. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be super fun. And Joel and I are doing our best to keep our mouths shut.
Stay tuned.
Build the hype.
Build the hype.
Thanks again for watching. Yeah, we'll see you guys again very soon.